The war in West Asia has entered its sixth week, with strikes and counterstrikes continuing to escalate across the region. Israel has targeted Iran's largest petrochemical complex. Iranian forces have responded with missile and drone attacks on the neighboring countries, and the human cost of this conflict is now mounting rapidly. Let's break it down for you. Israel has struck Iran's largest petrochemical complex at South Pars, dealing a severe economic blow to Tehran just a while back. Remember, explosions were heard at the South Pars petrochemical facility. Key infrastructure providing electricity, water and oxygen to the complex was targeted in these attacks. However, the main petrochemical company remains undamaged, although power to all the units was cut. A petrochemical complex in Marv-Dasht, near the city of Shiraz, has been hit as well. In fact, a fire broke out at the complex after the strike. The Marv-Dasht county's governor has confirmed this attack. However, the governor has said that only a small section of the facility has sustained damage. On the military front, Israel announced the killing of Asghar Bagheri in an airstrike. Bagheri was the commander of the Quds Force Special Operations Unit. The Quds Force, remember, is the foreign operations arm of Iran's Revolutionary Guards. The damage was also reported near Sharif University of Technology, which is one of Iran's leading science institutions, often compared with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in America. Retaliatory strikes by Iran have targeted the neighboring countries. In Kuwait, a missile and drone attack injured 6 civilians, while the Gulf nations' air defenses worked to intercept further projectiles. 4 people have been confirmed dead after an Iranian ballistic missile struck a residential building in Haifa, with rescue teams recovering all the victims from the rubble. Meanwhile, in the United Arab Emirates, air defenses intercepted 12 ballistic missiles, 2 cruise missiles and 19 drones, with 4 people injured in Abu Dhabi. On to Lebanon, where smoke billowed after strikes near villages in the Nabateh area. News agencies are reporting that the strike was on the Hezbollah stronghold, which was largely emptied of residents following repeated Israeli attacks and evacuation warnings. The United States Central Command released footage showing a drone down by the American forces. It states that the drone was used by the Iranian regime to threaten Americans and indiscriminately target civilians in the neighboring countries. Meanwhile, Donald Trump asserts that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon and that the regime change goal of United States has been achieved. Now, the 6-week war has already taken a heavy toll. Iran reports over 3,500 have been killed and 26,500 have been injured. Lebanon says 1,461 people have been killed, 4,430 injured, while Iraq has 109 killed and Israel has 32 killed but nearly 7,000 injured. Casualties have also been reported in the UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Syria, Oman, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, as well as Jordan. The human cost of this escalation has been staggering. Meanwhile, on the diplomatic front, Iran has rejected Washington's 15-point ceasefire proposal. Tehran has called the proposal as excessively demanding and says that it is pursuing its own demands. In fact, it also warned that a ceasefire could be used by opposing forces to regroup in the region. Iranian officials say that talks with Oman are focused on establishing safe passage protocols for vessels through the Strait of Hormuz, which is as global energy markets watch tensely. Now, all of this unfolds after just hours before Trump's latest deadline to reopen the Strait of Hormuz expires. The situation remains extremely volatile, with strikes and counterstrikes now continuing across the region. Leadership decisions in Tel Aviv, in Tehran, and in Washington, D.C. could determine whether this conflict escalates further or if diplomacy can halt the bloodshed.